Gaming Bolt presents top MMOs and MMORPGs of 2016. We have a lot to cover here, so let us dive right in. Black Desert. The game has been a long time coming, beginning development in 2010. Now, after 5 long years, this Korean MMO will finally see a Western release and gamers can step foot in the beautifully realized fantasy world. Star Citizen. Star Citizen promises to give players the endless void of space as a playground, choosing their career paths and who to align themselves with. Ships can be flown by sole pilots or with a crew of buddies for endless amounts of spacefaring fun. Camelot Unchained. Players will choose a realm, a faction to align themselves with, and create their own legends. This means completing quests, building up cities, and waging war against other players. The dichotomy of the world gives way for plenty of inter-realm quests and events that could bring the world to life in a way few MMOs ever have. No Man's Sky. This is a big one. Featuring a randomly generated universe, free-roam interplanetary travel, and Minecraft-like gameplay, No Man's Sky is the kind of experience that takes a lot of time but delivers dozens of memorable experiences. World of Warcraft Legion. We've been wandering the MMO version of Azeroth for over 10 years now, but that doesn't diminish our excitement for the next expansion. We've seen the resurrection of the Lich King, the landscapes of Azeroth torn asunder by Deathwing, and the new land of Pangaea. The Legion will add some new foils to the decade-old game while simultaneously moving the lore forward. Blade and Soul. Heavily inspired by anime and Japanese culture, Blade and Soul is unique in that it has a much different feel than most MMOs. Fighting styles are derivatives of martial arts and other Asian-inspired fighting styles, giving the game a more brutal feel. Tom Clancy's The Division. Ubisoft has placed a big focus on multiplayer recently, and The Division is a project that will reinvent the MMO genre for consoles. Set in New York after a doomsday event, players will team up to sweep through the Big Apple and make themselves known to the various gangs and factions. Triad Wars. Sleeping Dogs was a great game. Taking place in Hong Kong while a cop tried to infiltrate the gang scene, it offered great action and a compelling story. Triad Wars looks to transplant what worked in the single-player experience over to the MMO format. Combat is fast and fluid, driving is precise, and the world is filled with colorful characters and tough-as-nails missions. Entropy. A lot of MMOs are entering the final frontier next year, and Entropy is looking to distinguish itself. The game is squarely focused on maneuvering a spaceship through the cosmos, letting players mine for materials and earn resources to move further. H1Z1. Its beta may be falling a little flat, but the glitchy, zombie-ridden world of H1Z1 has a lot of potential. With gameplay similar to Rust or DayZ, H1Z1 tasks players with surviving in an undead wasteland. A less than stellar performance in its early days led to a lot of criticism, but the title has come a long way since then and is shaping up nicely. Ghost in the Shell Online. This futuristic team-based shooter takes standard FPS situations, injects them with technological advanced abilities and gadgets, and makes them feel fresh. Being able to see through walls, fire a swarm of grenades, or flash around the battlefield can quickly change the tide of the match. Lineage Eternal – Twilight Resistance. Lineage Eternal – Twilight Resistance is an isometric MMO set in a high fantasy world. This viewpoint is unique for an MMO, but puts a bigger focus on positioning and combat. Hopefully, this will offer up engaging encounters and a mystifying world to explore. Otherland. This particular MMO lets players explore a multiverse, ranging from futuristic malls to decrepit medieval castles. This wide variety of locales should keep things fresh, even after hundreds of hours of exploring. SkySaga. SkySaga looks very similar to Minecraft, and that's because it is. You wander the world, collecting resources and crafting items and weapons. The catch is that every player's world is connected. Warhammer 40k – Eternal Crusade. This MMO set in the Warhammer universe is an interesting mix of genres. You manage your resources from space, setting up your forces to defend or attack, and then join them in the fray. Pangaea, New World. Most of the information released on this upcoming title relates to the story and paints a picture of the devastated state of the world. The landscape will be a character unto itself, drawing players into a post-apocalyptic version of the Earth we know. Firefall. Set in a massive sci-fi world, Firefall is an MMO open-world shooter. This unique mix of mechanics allows for deep quest lines and fast-paced firefights. The weapons can tear enemies to shreds, letting players carve out their own reputation as they make their way through the strange planets and stations. Marvel Heroes 2016. Marvel Heroes has given fans of the comic company a chance to run around a big open world as some of their famous Marvel characters. 2016 should bring some big changes to the title and maybe even a new iteration. World of Speed. World of Speed is an open-world, car-based MMO. The trailers highlight beautiful cars, exhaustive customization, and plenty of roads to cruise down. The Crew was an ambitious title that tried to do what World of Speed was doing, but it didn't have the massive amount of polish and detail that is present in this driving title. And if you like what we're doing, go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon.